Who do the Bengals get?
I have been taking Cassius Howell, Texas A&M via Bowling Green, former Bowling Green Falcon. Um, so he's a dynamic pass rusher. Just an absolute star. Obviously was incredible at Bowling Green. Did the same thing at Texas Tech, and I think he's going to be a guy that we continue to see rise throughout this draft process. The Bengals need an edge rusher because Trey Hendrickson is gone, most likely. They need someone that can get after the quarterback. That is Howell is the best one on the board. These edge rushers, I see a lot of them all rising up the board because that's just such a huge position of need. I think in general, we saw the Seahawks basically win the Super Bowl on the back of the defense. I think a lot of teams will be looking at defense in this draft.
Yeah, and a lot of you could see that with a lot of defensive head coaches getting hired. Um, I went with a different route. I went with Caleb Downs. I think this has been mocked here by a lot of people for a long time, and I think it just makes sense. I think the Bengals were terrible. Um, Many interactions with Geno Stone, both personally and through other people, have told me that Geno Stone was making business decisions to not tackle people. I don't think we're going to get the same attitude from Caleb Downs. Um, I think because of other team needs, Caleb Downs falls to the Bengals here. Um, yeah, it's just if they got him, that would kind of anchor and solidify the middle part of that defense. Um, and then they'll just have to focus on corners later in the draft. But I think
And that is
that's
that is your absolute dream.
yeah, dream scenario. The combine may change a couple things, but that's why we start this ahead of time. Um, Tones went with Keldrick Falk, which is a very good pick. He was mocked here by numerous people for months now. Also, um, pretty much anything defense related is probably going to get mocked to the Bengals. For the Dolphins, I went with a stereotypical Dolphins pick. They're looking at possibly losing Waddle because they were thinking about trading him for a while. They're definitely out on Tua now. It would be really funny if they just traded Tua straight up for Kyler Murray. Um, both teams came out on the same day and said they were going to look at trading for a quarterback. So I think that would just be hilarious. But I'm operating under the assumption that they're not going to be able to get the quarterback that they want. I'm going to operate under the assumption that they're going to get a very cheap, freshly cut Kirk Cousins. And you know who Kirk Cousins thrives with? Elite running backs. Jeremiah Love just seems like a pick that the Dolphins would take here. Just because they have so many other team needs and don't need this really, I think this is where they would take a running back instead of, I don't know, Mansour Delane or Sonny Styles or in some other mock drafts, maybe Peter Woods. Um, I'm going with what the Dolphins normally do.
I'm going a different route in this one. I think they do look more at their team needs. They need a corner help for a few years now. Uh, I mean, especially this past year. I mean, it was obvious they were going to struggle at corner from the start, and as predicted, they did struggle at corner. Terrell is the top corner available on my board. Great fit here for the Dolphins. Just a guy who's ready to instantly jump in and start for them at a huge position.
Let's see what the intern went with. Intern went with Mansour Delane. Same
Another
position as
corner.
you. Um, yeah, I mean, I was going to do that, but I'm like, Jeremiah Love is like top 10 talent, but in a position that you don't normally see in the top 10 anymore. But then we saw what's his name go. We saw Swift go pretty high. We saw Genty go pretty high. I just think there's a running back revolution where If a team thinks that they need an elite running back, they're going to just go ahead and take him now. Um,
Yeah.